Hi, this is a short video today on how to worry less. It's one thing that I think most people struggle with. Anxiety, worry, it creates depression. It can cause many problems in our lives and in our relationships with others. Our performance at work and in all the stages of our life. So worry is an important issue to discuss, and I wanted to take a few moments today to go over some things that you can consider as you take a look at worry in your life and what you can do about it. The first thing that I would raise is that it's important that we remember that most of the things, the overwhelming majority of the things that you worry about never happen. That's important to remember. I know at first when we're worrying about all the what ifs and we want to try to be prepared, but worry is usually about things that never happen. And the other thing about worry is that when we're sitting there in a chair worrying or lying in bed late at night worrying, we're in a situation normally, and I would say 99% of the time, where at that moment we can't do anything about it. We're not going to do anything about it. The situation is not right. The conditions aren't right. We're lying in bed. And so most of the time when we worry, it's very unproductive because we're in a situation where we can't really do anything. And the things we're thinking about seldom happen. So that's an important point to remember whenever you start to worry, is to remind yourself, first of all, that there's a good chance you're worrying about something that will never even materialize. Which comes into, I touched on it a moment ago, what we want to do is just learn to take each moment as it comes. For example, if you're in bed staring at the ceiling, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're thinking about things. Well, become aware of what you're doing at that moment. Take each moment as it comes. What are you doing? You're lying there, you're staring at the ceiling. Or you're sitting in a chair, looking out a window. That's what's happening. Now, your mind may be off this way and that way, thinking about a problem and worrying and this and that and fretting and being anxious. But what's really happening? You're sitting in a chair. All right? That's what's happening in this moment. So, as far as taking each moment as it comes, as far as being aware, and I'm a big one on the term that's used nowadays is the present moment. Take a look at yourself in that present moment, what's happening. First of all, you're not accomplishing anything on this problem you're so worried about. You're sitting in a chair. And bring yourself back to the now, the present moment. The thoughts in your head can change from second to second. But you're sitting in this chair. And that's all there is to the reality of your situation at this moment. This is a fine point that's hard to grasp without spending some time thinking about it. Because you can say, well, yes, Pat, I know I'm sitting in the chair, but I've got this problem I'm worried about. Well, the problem, remember last night when you did go to sleep? The problem was still there too. And nothing happened. When you woke up, the problem was still there. The problem, you still have it right now. Even though you were in bed and you had fallen asleep, the problem was just there. So accepting the present moment means accepting what is right now. And worrying about other things, it's about learning how to blot out those things you normally worry about. It doesn't mean denial. I'm not saying that you should pretend that you don't have a problem and that they're not important. It's not about denial. It's about saying, yes, okay, there is a problem there, and I'll attend to it when I need to. But to accept this moment as it is. Right now, I'm sitting in this chair. I have things I need to do. I have problems I need to attend to. But you know what? After this camera is turned off, those problems will be there, and if it's important enough that they need to be attended to at that moment, in that present moment, I'll attend to them. But right now they don't need to be attended to, and so I'm not thinking about them at this moment. It takes practice to kind of get the hang of this. Many times our worry is because we fear failure and fear loss. Now, there are times when fear of failure is important. If you're going to do brain surgery in the morning, you would want to be sure that you do it correctly and there is no room for mistakes. Or if you're going to do surgery on someone's heart, it's important that it be done correctly. But most of the time in our lives, I would venture to say that there's a touch of perfectionism in our fears. We need to get up in front of people and we need to speak, and what if we make a mistake? Well, in that type of a situation, what if you do make a mistake? What if you forget what you're going to say and have to refer to notes? What if you have to start over? Really, in most situations, and be honest with yourself, is it important that you be perfect? I know what I'm talking about because I always noticed in me a touch of perfectionism. And I certainly didn't do things perfectly. No way. But I worried about doing things perfectly. And it really, the more I worried about and fretted about doing things perfectly, you know what happened? My anxiety level just spiraled up. And what happens when your anxiety level spirals up is you become less productive and more apt to make mistakes in whatever you're doing. So it's counterproductive. And it was because I felt I needed to be a perfectionist. Well, after years and years, I like to think that I've given up on that idea of perfectionism. And you'll probably pick it up in this video. I'm not worried about whether I say a wrong word or pronounce it incorrectly, or whether there's 1,000 people watching this video or 2, and what will they think of it? I don't know. It took me a long time to get to this point where I'm not worried about being perfect, because I'm not perfect. But so much of our fears and our worries can come from being afraid to make a mistake, or what if I don't achieve what I wanted to achieve. Just be yourself and work the hardest you can to do the best you can, and let the rest go. But it takes practice. And remember, when you are faced with a problem, worry is usually future focused. It's what if? What if this happens? Or what am I going to do when I need to go to this place and have this meeting? What am I going to... It's future based. Develop the habit of saying to yourself, I'll worry about that when the time comes. Or the old saying is, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. When I get there, I have enough peace in my heart and in my mind that I'll know what to say. I'll know what I need to do when the time comes, if it comes. because most of the things we worry about don't even happen. But if it does happen, I'll know what to do, and I'll do the best I can. Now, if it's a situation that needs prior planning, now that's different. Then we can, but that again is another present moment. If it's a problem that I'm aware that I have, and I know that I can resolve this situation by doing this right now, then it's called planning ahead. It's taking care of business. But I can do what I can do now to help resolve that situation that I'll have to deal with in that meeting tomorrow. If I need to prepare today, if I need to get something ready today, then I'll do that. I'm not saying just ignore everything, because part of dealing with the situation for tomorrow is doing what you can today. Most of the worries, though, and I'll go back to step number one, most of the worries that we struggle with, there isn't anything that we can do in this moment right here. That's the difference. If there is something that you need to do right now, like you're out in a boat and there's a hole in the boat, it may sink in 2 hours, but the immediate thing is to find a way, if possible, to plug that hole. So yes, you can worry about it sinking 2 hours from now, but in the meantime, there's something you can do, and that's plug that hole. So it's not about just not doing anything at this moment. It's doing what you can at this moment, and if there's nothing you can do, if you're just worrying about future events, and it's completely counterproductive, it's not productive at all, then you're just creating a lot of unnecessary anxiety and depression in your life. So, how to worry less? Remember that most of the things you worry about will never happen. So you can clear the slate of 99% of the things right there. Take each moment as it comes and do what you can in this moment. And if there's nothing that you can do about it in this moment, then rest easy and have peace that you're doing all you can. Remember to work on any perfectionistic traits that you might have that cause you to get uptight about making a mistake when it really isn't that important in the scheme of things. And remember that when a problem does happen, you'll know what to do, or the options will be clear about what you can do at that point. If it's something that hits you without warning, you didn't know exactly what was going to happen, and now that it's happened, it's clear what's happened, then the options available will be obvious also. And there may be a few, there may be several options, but that will be clear at the time. So try those 4 things. Work on them. Mostly what you're doing is overcoming counterproductive or negative habits that we all become so good at developing over the years, and they're hard to change. But work on these 4 things. Change the way you look at problems in your life, and you'll have much more peace of mind. You'll be much more worry-free, and that's what we want for ourselves. Peace of mind and less anxiety, less depression. Give these things a try, and have a good day.